Steve Sjogren here, talking to you today about the idea on Serve Coach of summer outreaches. You know, as we get into the year a little bit further, need to look ahead just a bit. You know, spring is upon us in most of our parts of the world. I know we have a few people in the southernmost hemispheres that are now getting into a different part of the year, but for the most of us, we are talking about it's spring right now and looking at getting into the summer before too terribly long. And it's important that we look ahead just a bit to look into the coming season. There's no better time than right now to be planning ahead just a bit to look into what will be before us. And the summer is an amazing time for outreach. It's in a way the ideal time to do the most productive part of our outreach year. There's something for every part of the year, certainly in outreach and evangelism, but in a real sense, summer is perhaps the most productive time of the year for outreach. And I say, you know, get ready right now in terms of looking out and doing something preparatory-wise. Specifically, let me give you a few little tips right now that you can be doing. I'd say, number one, be prayerfully looking ahead. We talk a fair bit here recently about the idea of prayer in outreach, and right now is a good time to be praying and looking ahead. Maybe going to the places that you think might be helpful or possibilities for outreach. Do some prayer walking on the ground, looking around specifically at these areas that you think are possibilities for outreach. As you pray, look for the downside of the outreach locations. Sometimes I will, in my head, think something is a good place for outreach, and when I actually get there and walk around, I discover that no, it actually is not the world's best place for outreach. And I only come to that conclusion after I prayed a little bit about things. So I recommend that you not only on paper plan things out, but that you walk it out a little bit. So prayerfully walk out things and see what you come up with. A second thing is chart it out. Maybe an Excel spreadsheet would be helpful to use in terms of thinking through the summer's outreaches, starting in May, maybe mid-May, going through mid-September. But whether you do it on pen and paper or you do it with an Excel spreadsheet, line up the Saturdays or the Wednesdays and Saturdays, whatever your outreach schedule looks most promising, and then fill in the blanks. There's nothing like a schedule to keep us honest. And I know some of us would rather do things that are more oriented toward being spontaneous, but there's something about being scheduled that really keeps it on the up and up. And you know, it's amazing when you look at all these slots that come together. Again, maybe it's a Wednesday, maybe it's a Friday is a good time to do outreach, maybe it's Saturday, or maybe all the above. You really come up with a lot of open doors to do ministry, and you realize that there really are some pretty amazing opportunities that are before us throughout the coming months. So fill in and look forward to these different outreach open slots that are before you, and begin to fill those in, and then look at the different outreach possibilities. Look on my site, servantevangelism.com, and look at the opportunities that are before you. There are another number of projects that are in the back of Conspiracy of Kindness. Pull out a copy of that, look it up. There's another book that I wrote with NAB Press called 101 Ways to Reach Your Community. Look up those projects, see what pops on the radar screen for you. You know, some of those aren't really filled in with a lot of detail, but you're a big person. You know, you can figure out intuitively what's necessary to do in order to, you know, accomplish these outreaches. You know, do the ones that seem like they're the most obvious to you. Do the ones that seem like they would fit your neck of the woods. As you've perhaps heard me say before, I'll say it again because it bears repeating, that there is something magical about finding those handful of projects that are really anointed for your neck of the woods. It isn't necessary to do a gigantic number of projects to really reach out to your neighborhood. But really, just I think as few as 3, maybe 4 projects are what's really called for to do something really amazing and outstanding in your neighborhood. Just keep it to just a few things and see what comes up. I really did see some amazing things happen in Cincinnati, for example. We touched approximately 1 million people a few years ago in Cincinnati, and we did it through just a few projects that were repeated over and over and over again. And it wasn't boring. It wasn't at a point where we were just absolutely dry regurgitating of things together, but it was something that had life to it. It was something that really did work well, and we just kept on plowing through things and really recycling. And this idea of recycling is really I think a spiritual idea as well as an ecological idea, and I think that there's something to be said for simply going out there and instigating things that have worked well in the past. And so reconnect and see what the Lord will bring about as you do these things repeatedly. It's something like a water giveaway that works anywhere you go, any kind of weather type, but especially in the summer, because people are, of course, thirsty. It's a hot weather project, etc. So try those things, but try and see what the Lord will plug into those things. I'm going to publish an article that will be on Serve Coach in the next few days. That's 25 projects that cost less than 25 cents that you can do in the summer. And they won't give a lot of detail, but it will give you a thumbnail sketch of a number of projects that are very inexpensive that you can accomplish quite easily, that are, of course, very affordable. So there you have it, a few ideas that will help you get going in the summer. Check out servecoach.com, SERVE coach.com, and see what may come about as a result of your availability. God isn't looking for perfection. He's looking for people that are available. And the great thing about the tribe of Serve Coach that I so appreciate in you is that there is simply a what I call a ready, fire, aim willingness in your heart. And when God can find somebody who's saying that over and over again, He will use you. He will use you in a way that's astounding, that really will make a difference in the world around us. So keep on saying ready, fire, aim, and see what God does. And I will join you in your activity. I might be here in Oregon and you might be in New York, but we'll work it out in the middle somewhere, and we'll see. We can't touch a lot of people. God bless, and I'll see you next time at Serve Coach or at YouTube or wherever we meet up. God bless.